Welcome back to Smart Income Masters, where we make money smarter. And if you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future deep dives. Today we're taking a close look at President Trump's $500 billion AI project. They're calling it Stargate.
Yeah.
And we're going to unpack why this is so much bigger than just another tech story. It's really a potential economic game changer that could have a direct impact on your career.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how this initiative goes way beyond, the typical tech hype. We're talking about a project that's actually designed to reshape entire industries, create tons of new jobs, and even change how we think about work itself.
Okay, so let's break this down a little. What is Stargate really trying to accomplish here? It involved AI, I get that, but what's the big picture?
Well, the core goal of Stargate is pretty ambitious, to say the least. It's about making the U.S. the clear leader in AI development. And they're not just talking about making small improvements. They want to build the largest AI infrastructure in history.
So it's more than just catching up. It's about becoming the dominant force in AI, right?
Exactly.
And President Trump seems to be putting together a pretty impressive team to make this happen.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing some of the biggest names in tech joining forces on this. You've got OpenAI, led by Sam Altman. Then there's Oracle, with Larry Ellison at the helm. And of course, we can't forget SoftBank, with Masayoshi Son, who's known for his bold investments.
Wow. Yeah, those are some real heavy hitters in the tech world. But it's not just about those big names, is it? Who else is involved in this initiative?
You're right. It's a really broad coalition. Besides those tech giants we just mentioned, you've got NVIDIA, ARM, and even Microsoft playing key roles in this. That kind of collaboration really shows the scale of this thing, and it hints at just how big of an impact Stargate could have.
Okay, so we've established that Stargate is poised to be a major disruptor in the tech world. But I think what our listeners really want to know is, how will this affect their own lives? What does Stargate mean for everyday people, for the economy, for the job market?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. One of the most important aspects of Stargate is its focus on creating jobs. We're not just talking about a few thousand jobs in Silicon Valley either. Projections show that Stargate could create an immediate surge of 100,000 new jobs. And not just in the tech industry, but across all sorts of sectors. Plus, even more jobs will be created indirectly as the project's impact spreads.
100,000 new jobs, that's a huge number. It almost sounds too good to be true. Are there any specific industries that are likely to benefit the most from this job growth?
Well, the goal is really to revitalize a wide range of industries.
Okay.
Stargate wants to use AI to help American industries across the board. By encouraging innovation and really pushing the limits of what AI can do, it could lead to a major comeback for U.S. manufacturing. And it could significantly boost the global economy as a whole.
So it's not just about creating tech jobs. It's about using AI to breathe new life into existing industries and create new opportunities everywhere. But, we got to be realistic here. AI requires a tremendous amount of energy. How is Stargate addressing that, especially with all the concerns about sustainability?
Yeah.
And the environmental impact of technology these days?
That's a really important question, and it looks like the people behind this initiative have taken that into account. Part of the Stargate plan involves creating these state-of-the-art campuses specifically designed for energy efficiency. So they're trying to minimize the environmental impact of all these AI advancements.
That makes sense. It's crucial to balance technological progress with environmental responsibility. And while we're on the topic of potential challenges, what about security? With AI becoming so integrated into every aspect of our lives, how does Stargate plan to deal with the risks that come with these powerful technologies?
That's another critical consideration, and it seems like they've got a plan for that too. Strengthening national security, both for the U.S. and its allies, is a fundamental part of Stargate. The idea is to use these sophisticated AI systems to create a more secure infrastructure and to strengthen our defenses against all sorts of modern threats.
Okay, so we're looking at a project with the potential to really transform industries, revitalize the economy, and even bolster national security. But let's get a little more specific here. How will Stargate actually change how AI works in practice? What kind of advancements are we talking about? What makes this different from the AI we're already seeing?
One of the most significant changes that Stargate promises is the evolution from weak AI to something called agentic AI. To put it simply, think of weak AI as the type of AI we mostly interact with today. It's really good at specific tasks like recommending products or filtering out spam.
Right, that's the AI we're all familiar with. What makes agentic AI different?
Well, agentic AI takes things a step further. Imagine it as a highly capable assistant, one that can handle complex processes, make difficult decisions, and basically operate with a level of independence that we haven't seen before. It's a pretty big leap forward.
So AI that can work more independently and handle more complicated tasks. That's exciting, but I can see how some people might be a little nervous about that too. Are there any specific examples of how this agentic AI will actually be used in the real world?
Absolutely. Take healthcare, for example. Imagine a world where doctors, even in the most remote areas, have access to the same cutting-edge insights and expertise that doctors in top institutions like Stanford or Memorial Sloan Kettering use. That's the kind of transformative potential we're talking about.
So AI could really help bridge that gap in healthcare access and expertise, sort of level the playing field. That's a really compelling use case. But I have to imagine some of our listeners might be feeling a bit overwhelmed right now. It's a lot to process. And some people might be wondering, where do I fit into all of this?
Well, if you connect all of this to the bigger picture, I think what's crucial for everyone listening is recognizing that we're on the cusp of a major technological shift. And the key to succeeding in this new landscape is adaptability.
Okay, so how can our listeners actually prepare themselves for this AI-driven future? What can they do to not just survive, but actually thrive in this rapidly changing world?
A great place to start is by getting comfortable with the AI tools that are already available, like ChatGPT, for instance. Learning how to use these tools effectively can seriously boost your productivity and give you a real advantage.
So it's all about learning the language of AI, understanding how to work with these tools and use their power to your advantage.
Exactly. And beyond just using these tools, learning how to craft effective AI prompts will be a really valuable skill. It's about knowing how to communicate with these AI systems and leverage their capabilities.
That's some really great advice.
Yeah.
But it's also important to figure out your own strengths and weaknesses in this new environment, right? How can people assess their skills and potential in a world that's increasingly driven by AI?
Absolutely. Doing a personal career SWOT analysis can be incredibly helpful. This means identifying your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in this new AI-driven world. And it's a crucial step for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve.
That's a great point. You know, we often talk about SWOT analyses for businesses, but it makes perfect sense to apply that same framework to our own careers, especially when faced with such rapid technological change. It's about being proactive and taking control of your future.
Exactly. The rise of AI is inevitable. But how you choose to adapt and navigate this new world is entirely up to you. It's about understanding that this isn't just a tech industry thing. The implications of Stargate are far-reaching. It'll affect almost every sector you can think of.
So it's not just about coders and engineers. Everyone needs to be paying attention.
Precisely. The ripple effects will be felt everywhere. Think about the potential for AI in fields like finance, education, transportation, even the arts.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the key players, the economic implications, the advancements in AI technology, and even how this could change career paths. But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't touched on yet. Quantum computing. I know it's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But how does this fit into the Stargate initiative?
Well, that's where things start to get truly mind-blowing with Stargate. Quantum computing is still in its early stages, but it represents a massive leap forward in processing power.
Okay, can you give us a real-world example of what that even means? You know, I think for many people, quantum computing sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Sure, think about Google's Willow computer. It can do calculations in just minutes. That would take traditional supercomputers billions of years to complete.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely impressive.
hmm
But I'm still trying to grasp what that kind of processing power means in practical terms.
Well, it's not just about speed. It's about tackling problems that were impossible to solve before. Imagine combining that level of computational power with advanced AI systems. The possibilities are almost limitless.
So we're talking about potentially solving some of the world's biggest challenges.
Exactly. Climate change, eradicating diseases, space exploration, you name it. The combination of AI and quantum computing could completely revolutionize how we approach these issues.
It's all pretty awe-inspiring, to be honest. But I also can't help but wonder, are there any downsides to all of this? I mean, we've all seen those sci-fi movies where AI takes over. Is there any reason to be concerned about the potential negative impacts of this technology?
It's a valid concern for sure, and it's something that ethicists and researchers are actively working on right now. Like any powerful technology, there are definitely potential risks. But the goal with Stargate, and with AI development in general, is to make sure these advances are used responsibly and ethically.
So it's about striking that balance between pushing the boundaries of innovation while also protecting humanity's interests.
Precisely. It's a complex challenge, but one that we absolutely need to address head on.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners? What's the takeaway message?
The takeaway is that we're living in a truly remarkable time. The Stargate project is a sign that the AI revolution is speeding up. And whether we're ready or not, it's happening. The key is to be informed, to be adaptable, and to start thinking about how you can position yourself to not just survive, but to thrive in this rapidly changing landscape.
It sounds like we all need to embrace the idea of lifelong learning if we want to keep up. This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive so far, but we've only just scratched the surface. Stick with us as we continue to explore the Stargate project in part 2 of this deep dive. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this conversation.
Yeah, it really is a call to action for anyone who wants to stay relevant in the years to come. The skills that are in high demand today might be totally obsolete tomorrow.
So it's not just about learning one specific skill. It's about being able to constantly learn new things, expand your knowledge base, and be willing to step outside of your comfort zone.
Exactly. That old model of education and career paths. It's quickly becoming a thing of the past in this rapidly changing technological landscape. We need to shift towards a model of continuous learning, where being adaptable and eager to learn are the most valuable things you can have.
So in this new world, it's not just about what you know, it's about how fast you can learn
And adapt.
to new information and technologies.
Exactly. That ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is going to be the defining skill of the future. The people who embrace that mindset will be the ones who really succeed.
I think that's a really important point. This has been a super insightful conversation so far. We've unpacked the ambitious goals of the Stargate project, explored its potential impact on the economy and national security, and even dug into the evolution of AI itself. But I think the biggest takeaway for me, and hopefully for our listeners, is this idea of embracing lifelong learning and adaptability. It's a bit daunting, but also incredibly exciting.
I completely agree. It's definitely a time of great uncertainty, but it's also a time of immense opportunity. The future is being written right now, and those who are willing to embrace the challenge and adapt to this new reality will be the ones who shape it.
It's a call to action for all of us. And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into the Stargate project here on Smart Income Masters, if you're enjoying this conversation, and want to explore more ideas on how to make money smarter in this rapidly changing world. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So to all our listeners out there, as AI evolves at this crazy pace, the question is, how will you adapt and thrive? What steps are you going to take to make sure you don't get left behind?
Well, it really comes down to being proactive, right?
Mm.
And we've talked about developing skills, understanding those AI tools, but there's a mindset shift that needs to happen too. We need to start seeing learning as a continuous thing, not just something you do once at the start of your career.
Yeah, it's almost like we need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, the world's changing so fast that we're always going to be learning and adapting, right?
Exactly. And that can be exciting. Think about it. We have a real opportunity to reinvent ourselves, learn new things, stay ahead of the curve. That's powerful.
Well said. And it goes back to what we always say here at Smart Income Masters. Making money smarter means keeping up with the trends, embracing new tech, and always looking for ways to improve your skills and knowledge.
Absolutely. The Stargate project is just one example of how technology is changing the world around us so rapidly, whether it's AI, quantum computing, or something completely new. The key is to be aware, to be ready, and to be open to those new possibilities.
It's all about adapting and welcoming the future, no matter what it brings. And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into the Stargate project. We hope you found this conversation insightful and got you thinking.
It's been great discussing this with you.
And to all our listeners, if you want to stay ahead of the game and make money smarter, make sure you subscribe to Smart Income Masters for more in-depth discussions on the newest trends in finance, technology, and the future of work. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, make money smarter.